Now these fish here are called discus fish, often known as the king of the aquarium. Freshwater, it's pretty much one of the trademark freshwater fish. And the difference with these guys, they come from the Amazon. They're quite a slow moving, schooling fish, and a lot of tap waters are very alkaline. For example, Sydney tap water has a very high pH of about 7.8 and a KH of often 0 or close to 0. Now therefore the water that you choose to use with your discus must be considered, because if you have something like cichlids, African cichlids, it's very easy because the fish like high alkaline water and the water's high alkaline. If you're going to have Amazon fish, then you need to prepare the water first, because the pH and KH of the water is completely different to what the fish actually require. So I like to have a KH of 1 or 2, so they are a soft water fish. I don't like having a 0 KH, so I do add a little bit of carbonate buffer to the water, but not much. I might also add a little bit of salt, not much. They are a soft water fish. They are not a brackish water fish that require a lot of salt. Just a tiny little bit I find helps their immune system and promote body slime. Now, as far as what sort of water to choose, the easiest water to use is obviously tap water, and tap water is whatever it is in your area which you need to deal with. So if you are going to use tap water, it's good to have a drum, and then you can lower the pH using a preferably a non-phosphate acid to lower the pH. Then you add a little bit of KH generator in there, something like your neutral KH, or even better, your Amazon KH, and that'll raise the KH slightly while allowing a low pH. So preparing the water is king. Also, heating the water before you put it in is a great idea, because these are Amazon fish and they like the water very warm. So therefore, if you can run a pH of below 7, a KH of 1 or 2, and a temperature of 28-30 degrees, these guys will really love you for it. So tap water is option 1. We can add water ager. You can adjust the water, preferably in a drum before you put it in the tank, and that's one option. Now tap water in general is pretty much the worst option, because you're getting all of the contaminants such as silicants and other stuff out of the tap water. You've got to make sure you age it using a high quality water ager, either a mineral based water ager like Easy Life, or a good quality chemical water ager. Next option is rainwater. Now you can use rainwater. The only thing is that a lot of your rainwater is collected off the roof. So depending on your piping, depending on how much crap is on your roof, there is a bit more of a variable. Because if you have dirty gutters, you have decomposed garbage all through your gutters, therefore that will have a negative effect on your rainwater. So you can use rainwater, but just watch the way rainwater is collected. If you collected it in a pail, that would really be the way to go about it. Rainwater will typically have a 0 KH, so therefore the buffers still need to be used, but it will have a lower pH. Therefore you don't tend to have to lower the pH so much. Now the best and absolute best option is RO water. RO or DI water, which means it's gone through a filter. It's filtered out all the impurities in the water, so you are just getting straight water. You can add mineral and vitamin sort of based supplements that you can put in to repopulate the water. Things such as Discus code are wonderful. They have good minerals and so forth for your fish, and therefore you're only putting in the aquarium what you want to put in the aquarium, and you do not need to add water ages or anything else in with RO water, because it will be pure water. Anyway, the key to these fish is to pre-prepare the water before you put the water in the tank. If you are not prepared to pre-prepare the water before you put the water in the tank, the key is to do a small water change regularly. Anyway, if you've got any other comments to what sort of water to use for discus, and pop the little comments down the bottom.